Today is the fourth Sunday of Ordinary Time Cycle C. This week's reading covered the challenges we face as disciples of Christ. The first reading is about the call of the prophet Jeremiah by God. Applying the reading to our own call to be a disciple of Christ, it is wonderful to know that we have been specially formed and appointed by God to take his message to all nations. We are to gird our loins, stand up, and tell them all God has commanded us. Jeremiah had told God that he was too young and inexperienced for this mission. But God convinced him that he would put powerful words in his mouth and would make his mission successful. We should never be fearful or anxious when we are called to proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ. However, the last line of today's reading tells us that our task will not necessarily be easy, and that we may have to suffer verbal and physical attacks just as Jeremiah had endured. They will fight against you, but not prevail over you. For I am with you to deliver you, says the Lord. I need you to go out and fill the benches of the churches of St. Bartholomew. Please go out and spread the good news. Challenges for disciples of Christ come from outside and from within the community. In the letter to the Corinthians, Paul is trying to correct those who taught that because they had certain spiritual gifts, especially those with the ability to speak in tongues, that they were superior to others in the community. Last week, he told us that we are an organic structure, the church, that is, and that everyone was important just as the body needs every part to function properly. Although this reading is popular in weddings, the type of love that Paul is speaking of is not romantic love, but love of family and love of community. Selfless love that seeks no personal gain in return toward one another should be the response of every member of the community. Without love within the community of Corinth, even the gifted ministries were useless or would be useless, according to St. Paul. St. Paul tells the Corinthians and us, love is patient, love is kind, love is not jealous, it is not pompous, it is not inflated, it is not rude, it does not seek its own interest, it is not quick-tempered, it does not brood over injury, it does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hope all things, endure all things. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, 4-7. The gospel is a continuum of last week's story. Jesus, famous for his preaching and healing miracles, returned to Nazareth and read from the book of the prophet Isaiah about the one and bring good news and comfort to those who are suffering, poor, and oppressed. After reading the scroll, Jesus, the famous preacher, sat down and did not preach. Everyone stared at him intently. And he told them that today the prophecy was fulfilled in him, or through him. His popularity evaporated almost immediately when it was apparent that he was not going to work any miracles in their presence. Firstly, they told him that he was no better than them. They said that he was one of them, the son of Joseph. When Jesus reminded them that God had allowed Elijah and Elisha to cure Gentiles rather than Jews, they felt insulted. And they were so infuriated they wanted to kill him. Because Jesus did not immediately live up to their expectations, they wanted to see miracles, they rejected him. I'm sure that if they had been more patient and accepting that he was indeed the Messiah, they would have witnessed many mighty deeds. Sometimes we too are guilty of wanting the immediate miracle from Jesus without developing a closer relationship with him. Many times, with a deeper spiritual formation, we come to realize that the miracle we wanted long ago, which Jesus did not give us when we asked, and the denial of which had made us angry at him, would not have been the best solution. We need to be patient and trust God, especially the timing of his action in our lives. Let God decide what is best for us and when